Welcome to Does It Go Hard, a show where I review movies, video games, and more. Today is actually a really special episode because this is going to be my first double feature review. That's right, I'm going to be reviewing both Hocus Pocus 2 and, what's the other thing called? Blonde! That's right, this is gonna be a shorter review, mostly because I have very little to say about both films. But I really wanted to talk about specifically Blonde, but I really was just not in the mood of making two separate videos for each movie. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do a video reviewing both of them. Let's get to the first movie, which is Hocus Pocus 2. So Hocus Pocus 2 is a sequel 30 years later after the original film. So yeah, this is another one of those sequels where it's been more than a decade since the first film, and out of nowhere they just decided, let's make a sequel to that one movie that became a cult classic. I'm gonna be very short about this one because honestly, I just have very little to say about this film because most of it is just meh and kind of boring, if I'm being honest. It's a pretty inoffensive movie for kids. I don't really see much wrong with it. I mean, yeah, it is a little bit slow and kind of lame, especially 30 years after the original film. It's like, what really was the point of this other than to, hey, let's just make a sequel to a movie that a lot of people love that really should have only just stayed of one movie because it only works as one movie alone. Honestly, the best part of the film has to be the Sanderson sisters. I think they are the ones that are having the most fun. They are the ones that are bringing the most personality of the film, because most of the film is just very bland. Like, again, it's nothing really horrible or bad. It just very much lacks personality. But when the Sanderson sisters come in, the movie just lights up, and again, the actresses really seem like they are the only ones that are having fun with this material, even if the material is not really that good, if I'm being honest. Other than that, it's also just really fun to see these three actresses back as these, you know, kind of iconic characters now. The rest of the cast is not bad, but again, they're working with nothing. So by the end, you just kind of have this huge portion of the film that is really dry and bland and just overall boring to watch. Again, it's nothing terrible, but at the same time, I do feel like it's a bit of a disappointing film. I mean, it will entertain your kids, of course, but for adults, and especially for fans of the original that have grown up with that film and now consider it a classic and a tradition to watch every Halloween, this is going to be a disappointment for them. But if I had to give this film a rating, it'd be a pretty solid meh. The movie's just really meh overall. Yeah, I guess it's on Disney Plus. You want to give it a watch, it's there, or you can just watch the original. It's also on Disney Plus. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say about Hocus Pocus 2. Now, I want to talk about the Ana de Armas Marilyn Monroe biopic, Blonde. This is, again, another biopic, an unnecessary biopic about a person that is not here to defend herself on a lot of shit that this movie tries to pull off as factual. And I'll just get it out of the way. I think Ana de Armas does an incredible job as the role of Marilyn Monroe. I think she really kills this role. There are a few instances where her accents start to come out, but for the most part, she nailed this role. Like, you can literally tell that she studied and practiced for this role. And to me, that's the most impressive. She is carrying this film. Aside from that, everything else in the movie is god-awful dog shit. This movie is 3 hours long. Blonde is one of the longest pieces of shit I have seen this entire f***ing year. God damn, I mean, this movie is just what every other bad biopic is, which is you always questioning whatever you're watching if it's even true or not, which, let me just say it out of the way, most of what they show and tell in this movie is a lot of made up bullshit, or it's stuff that is twisted around to make other people bad and to always put Marilyn as the victim. I'm not saying that Marilyn wasn't a victim in some areas and in some spots in this film or in her life. I'm not saying that she was never a victim of anything, okay? The best way I could describe this film is as a 3-hour long fan fiction of what somebody that knows very little about Marilyn Monroe thought Marilyn Monroe's life was. This is another Elvis situation where that Elvis film that came out not too long ago was directed by an Australian director who probably doesn't have the same relationship that we have to Elvis. Most of it's over exaggerated, or it's just a complete dramatization of everything that happened to these people. It's the same here in Blonde, just somehow Blonde does it incredibly worse because a lot of it clearly shows that you know nothing about this person and you're just making up bullshit as the film goes along. I did forget to mention that Adrien Brody, who is also in the movie, he's also great. Both him and Ana de Armas carry this film because they are the only two people here that actually give a shit of what they're doing. Everybody else is just sleeping through the entire thing. It's just fucking painful to watch a movie where most of the people feel like they do not give a flying of what they're doing. Also, the cinematography and art direction is incredible, but that's not enough to salvage the entire film. This film is just a huge slog from beginning to end. I'm trying to be nice about it, but this movie just pissed me the f off. My biggest enemy through watching this film was sleep. Also, this movie's NC-17, so it means that there's going to be a lot of nudity and a lot of cursing in it. Oh boy, this movie seriously has an obsession of just filming Ana de Armas completely naked and showing just everything. It happens so often in the movie that it becomes legitimately fucking creepy. And I'm just like, what the f does any of this have to do with the film? Like, I really feel like the director is only doing this just for his own pleasure and not to bring anything or to comment on absolutely anything regarding to the person that, by the way, they are completely disrespecting. So yeah, this movie can go eat shit, okay? This movie can absolutely go eat shit. It is absolutely horrible. It is a terrible film in almost every aspect except for these one little things. Again, the acting from Adrien Brody and Ana de Armas is very good. They are the only ones that care. The art direction, cinematography is amazing. But again, the script is absolutely god-awful. And just in general, the story or the telling of Marilyn's story or a lot of important events in her life are just incredibly mistreated. I mean, this movie really disrespects Marilyn in many ways and a lot of other people involved with her. So yeah, don't even bother watching this, okay? It's on Netflix, but don't do it. Don't f***ing do it. Do not waste your goddamn time watching this shit. It makes me sad because this movie just really feels incredibly disrespectful to somebody that is not here to defend herself. And that to me is probably the most insulting thing about this. That's pretty much all. What do you think about Hocus Pocus 2 and Blonde? Did you like both of them? Did you dislike both of them? Or did you just kind of feel indifferent to both of these two films? Leave it down in the comments. I really want to hear your thoughts on it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Good day, good night, and stay safe.